It starts when you climb into the car by the window. You start up the engine. It's a unique noise, you know. Then this fantastic gearbox, a rally gearbox, which when I drove it today is still up to date, you know. To drive an all-wheel car is something really exciting. When you drive a normal car, you put the power down, some wheels are spinning, there's no spinning, there's just forward, you know. The bloody thing always moves forward. With this car, bam, you hit the head down and off it went, like on a rubber string, you know. You approach the corner sometimes in first, even second gear. You shift it down, you knew when you hit the throttle pedal, the boost is right there. And then when you really did it, you put the power down, the immediate response of the boost, the immediate power that hits you into the seat, the immediate grip and the immediate pulling around the corner with any spinning wheels, you know. I mean, those are moments in life you never forget. I was a Porsche factory driver, and once a day Professor Pierre called, you know, he was the former head of us, said, Hans, we need you, we want to go to America.
Audi stopped in rallying and decided to go in track racing. It was a decision to support the American market with the presence of Audi, because the market sailed from Audi in the US, they dropped down and they had to do something about it. The first car which then came out on track was the 1988 Audi Trans Am.
When Audi asked me to go over there with the Trans Am car in '88, I was almost ready to go in 1 second. During the season then we found out that Trans Am is a cool championship, but we need to prove a little bit more. Where can we show a little bit more technique? Where do we have other racing teams engaged, other manufacturers? So then, of course, IMSA got an option, which I like pretty much, because then we have a little bit more of a race car. And as soon as I got into the car the first time testing in south of France, you know, I was totally positively shocked, you know. We learned pretty quickly, due to the fact that we have an all-wheel drive system, the famous Quattro system, we need to find out how to best spray the load over the front and rear axle, you know, because this was part of our big advantage. We didn't have the horsepower like a Corvette has or a Mustang had, and we didn't have the torque, for example, we had a turbocharged engine. So we needed to find out to do the best for our tires in putting the load to the front and to the rear. Walter Röhrl was in the team as a test driver, not as a race car driver, because he had this experience brought in from rally championship, you know. They were playing there with 20, 30, 40% in the front and the rear to find the right balance. And the more testing we did, the more exciting I got, you know.
Inspired by their convincing overall victory in the 1988 American Trans Am Series, Audi decided to move up a league. After all, success demands promotion, and IMSA is the top series in production car racing in the USA.
We were a really tight group, you know. And when we had free time, we were thinking about things, what we can do to the car. And because everybody took it so seriously, there were little things, you know, like on the car we could try. Remember my engineer Thomas Andor, who was in charge of the engines, for example. We did so much fine-tuning on the engine in terms of throttle response. Turbo response was a big issue, you know, because normally when you go off the throttle, go on, then you sit and wait. 21, 22, boom, then the turbo comes, you know. But with the system we used from rallying, with this pre-holding pressure system, you know, you put the pedal and power was right there. But to adapt this all to racing tracks, it needs a lot of talks to the engineer, to the people. They knew it from Walter in terms of rally, which is a different venue. But this intense group work we had made us so successful, you know.
Als Botschafter des Rallye-Sports, ich muss also die Rallyefahrer hier vertreten, damit die Rennfahrer endlich wissen, dass wir Rallyefahrer auf der Rundstrecke genauso gut sind wie sie.
standard kind of engines which were used in the US series was a V8 engine. This is a 5-cylinder turbo engine with 720 horsepower. This was a very unique sound, and this was something you heard. You were sitting on a grandstand somewhere, and the people can really identify the car out of 10 other cars, which was the Audi or not.
Okay, we can watch him now as they take over this 1.87 miles away. Hot Stuff wants to go around because Stroh's light automobiles, the Mercury Cougars, he's got the back front end of that four-wheel drive Audi Quattro. Boy, those are solid automobiles.
Yeah, some of the races we knew have the other cars, the Mustangs, everybody, and Nissan, they have originally a better chance because they have just more power, you know, and they were also faster down the straight. But we had to wait, we had to be patient. Till there, sort of little bit, they burned their tires, you know, in terms of oversteer. They were very tough on braking. We had very good brakes, and we knew the more patient we are in the beginning, the better we are in the end. It worked out 90%, you know. When those guys blew the tires off and burned the brakes, then we passed by. Alrighty, and just passed them, you know. Limerick was great because there was this jump, you know, and there's one picture with the car, the front wheel in the air. Too low for flying and too fast for driving, you know, what I always used to say, which is good.
Missing the first two races of the season at Daytona and Sebring spoiled Audi's chances in the series as a whole.
The decision was not to run Sebring and Daytona because the development window was very, very narrow.
Nevertheless, the Quattros managed more wins than any other team, coming first at Summit Point, West Virginia, Lexington, Ohio, Topeka, Kansas, Sears Point, California, Watkins Glen, New York, Lime Rock, Connecticut, and Laguna Seca, California.
There's a clear list of my favorite race cars. Number one on the list is Porsche 962. There's no doubt because it was the perfect combination. And second was the GTO, because it was kind of a on the upper edge, regular chassis car, transformed into a race car, and was closer to a race car than to a street car. You know what I mean? The Audi V8 or the BMW 6 Series or 3 Series that they raced, you know, those were street cars made into a race car. But this was actually the maximum we could do out of a street car. And then the combination of the unique sound, the power, the gearbox, just great. For the friends and fans of iRacing, I can just give you the good idea. Try it. And maybe try a car which has a rear-wheel drive with lots of horsepower, and choose any tight corner, and then try it with the Audi 90. You will have the experience of your life, believe me. It's on a rubber band, you know, like you hold it, you leave it off, and boom, the car accelerates. Just try it, and then let me know.
You talk about the war ending. There's only one end to this war. We must learn the secrets of the Masquerades.
Something is happening. Something that we cannot see. That is on a level beyond us. It frightens me to wonder what it might be.
I'm sorry.
A strange choice of greeting.
If I hadn't done what I did, maybe she wouldn't have died.
We are tired of fighting, of losing, of dying.
Who cares if you're 1 man or 100? You believe in something, you fight for it.
Nothing is lost until death, and little is gained without it.
Welcome back to Umber, my friend. Welcome indeed.
This world has been ruled by the internet for a long time. Corporations manipulate people's minds. Only a few people continue to struggle.
Time is running out. Must flee this place. Yes, you did it. Now run. All clear. Let's do the job.
Calm down. We have to use a decomposed code.
We've been spotted by a firewall. We cannot break through.
Come on! on, hurry!
Let me try.
Get out now, come on!
I know I can do it. We've almost been spotted. I need to hide. Now or never.